Hi, I'm Ilan Goldstein, and you're watching the Scrum Shortcut series. In this video, we are going to be talking about how to define impediments. So your Scrum troops have been trained and are well into their first mission. The daily Scrums are now short and sharp, product increments are beginning to appear, and tasks are rapidly moving across the board. Then, from out of nowhere, the bullets start flying. The mines start exploding, and your troops are no longer moving forward. This is it, Scrum Master. Time for you to step up. Okay, so in reality, it isn't a spray of enemy fire impeding your team. Instead, it might be a constantly breaking build, an interfering project sponsor, or perhaps the loss of a key team member. The bottom line is that anything impeding your team's progress becomes the number one priority for the Scrum Master to tackle. Let's start by defining what an impediment is. Here is the definition that I like to use. It is anything that impedes the developers from working to their anticipated sprint capacity. Many teams use the terms block and impediment interchangeably, but I like to differentiate between the two. I do so to clearly identify an obstruction that has stopped progress on a particular task, but hasn't necessarily slowed down overall progress, which I call a block, versus an obstruction that is slowing down the team's overall sprint progress, an impediment. A typical block occurs when a task has a dependency that has been held up for some reason. A short, temporary block is a reasonably common occurrence and nothing to get too concerned about, because in most cases, other work can be taken on while the dependency is being taken care of. Now, back to impediments, and the reality is that they come in all shapes and sizes. So let's run through a small sample of common impediments to keep a careful eye on. Issues with the tools of the trade. Whether it's a hardware malfunction, software problem, or network connectivity issue, any problem with the working environment can seriously hamper progress and lead to immense frustration. An absent or unempowered product owner holding up key decisions. Product owners should be available throughout the sprint to field specific questions about the focal product backlog items. If they are regularly absent or constantly having to seek approval from elsewhere, the development team might find itself paralyzed with uncertainty. Unreliable suppliers. This is possibly one of the most frustrating impediments due to the lack of control that the Scrum Master and team might have in dealing with an overburdened supplier. Poorly supported components or add-ons can lead to black holes that can seriously suck time from your sprints. An unrefined product backlog. A sprint should never start without the product owner knowing exactly what requirements will make their way into the sprint backlog. These requirements should also include enough detail for the development team members to get their teeth into. If these requirements are not ready for the sprint planning session, then the sprint will likely be dysfunctional. Illness. It can strike unannounced at any time. There's not much you can do about it, but I highly recommend you avoid a culture of toughing it out when sick. That expectation is pretty stupid. Work quality suffers, germs spread very quickly in an open Scrum environment, and frankly, it just annoys everyone. Broken builds. Without a healthy build, development cannot continue. If a build is broken, it should be a top priority for the team to fix it. Incentive schemes focused on the individual. Many organizations maintain performance reviews and associated incentive schemes that are based entirely on individual performance. Hopefully by now you've absorbed the fact that there is no I in Scrum team. If reviews don't incorporate a significant focus on team collaboration, then the organization will be sending a contradictory message to the team members. Now, I've just run through a small selection of impediments that your team may face, and no doubt you have and will encounter many others on your journey. And that's it for defining impediments. I'll see you in the next video for another Scrum shortcut.